All right, we're going to try and walk through this one in the steps that I would take to get y all by itself so I could graph it. The first thing I see is that y is over here, so I'm kind of going to leave it alone. And I always want to undo addition and subtraction first. So since something's being subtracted from it, I'm going to go ahead and add that 14 to both sides. So I end up with 2y equals 4x plus 14. Well, now I see there's something multiplying times that y. So to undo that, I'm going to divide. But when I divide this term by 2, I need to divide this piece by 2, and I have to divide this piece by 2 as well. So instead of what we've learned is what you do to one side, you have to do the other, we kind of have to now think of it as what I do to one thing, I have to do to all the different things. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So when I divide this, I end up with y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2. That x has to stay there because it doesn't really change or do anything else. So now I see I have this 14 divided by 2 is 7. So now I can actually kind of graph that. And let me show you how. I always start with this thing that doesn't have the x with it. That's my y-intercept. And here I see it's a positive 7. So I'm going to go up to a positive 7 on my graph and I'm going to draw a dot. So then the next thing I do is I see this, come on, change color. This value is my slope, and I know that's my slope because it's the thing with my x. So from there, it's a positive 2. And remember that slope is rise over run. So the other way I can write 2 as rise over run is I know that 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. Because back when we learned about fractions, we learned that anything over 1 is just itself. So that's another way I can do this. So I see I have a rise of 2 and a run of 1. So from this point that I did my y-intercept, I go up 2, and I go over 1, and I can make another point. And I can go up 2 and over 1 and make another point. So now that I've got those points, I can connect them and make my line. So I always like to kind of double check if I'm right. So I see back in here that I had a positive value. And I know that positive slopes means as I read from left to right, it's going to be going up. Well, here this line that we just did, as I read from left to right, does go up. So I would assume that my slope would be positive and would be correct there. So we always want our goal is to get that y value by itself by undoing any addition or subtraction, and then any multiplication or division. So then when we're in the slope-intercept form, we can do our intercept first, the thing that's not with the variable, and then we can from there take our slope and make our new points. So let me know if this doesn't help at all or if I can help with any other questions you've got.